Good afternoon, fellow CineNerds. We bring you an enticing addition to our reviews today with the movie Dark City.
I like to call Matrix before Matrix.
Or the better installment. I'm a dark and twisty guy, so this one is really dark, and I fucking am here for it. This one hits all the psychological and imagination and all the things you can think of, dreams. God, it's just so fucking good. But I do agree with the complete. Like, I've always thought when I watch this movie, everyone always talks about living in a simulation and the Matrix and this and that. Well, this is just as eye-opening as that theory, as if we're being controlled like puppets and reset and moved around, and it's just great. So let's get into it.
Before we get into it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, I just fucked him up there, didn't
Yeah.
I? CineNerdsPodcast.com. I want to do this at the beginning of the show this week. We have a new shop up with an independent person, local person that is making our shirts, coffee mugs,
Seemingly
koozies.
perfect designs.
Yeah. So please order some swag. It'll help us out, help us get some stuff replaced and upgraded that we need to get done, and it gets you some cool new shirts. We have multiple, a couple different shirt designs, a couple different hoodie designs. So it helps us out and it makes you look cool.
So, and more importantly, like we think of this, we take this very seriously. So we take this like a small business as well. So not only by buying merch through this shop are you supporting one, but you're supporting two small businesses. So independent and from the bottom up. So just think about it that way, and you're helping out, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, so you're not only helping us, you're helping Seemingly Designs as well. So
Seemingly perfect designs.
Seemingly Perfect Designs.
Angie, you kick ass. Anyways, all right. Now,
Dive into this.
Yes. I fucking love this movie.
So you gonna start the initial reactions?
I can do the initial
Well,
reactions.
it don't matter.
So what am I doing? So this one, since it's an oldie but a goodie. So am I talking about my initial reaction the first time I ever saw it? Am I talking about the initial reaction of this time around? What are we looking at?
I will probably talk about my initial reaction the first time I saw it,
First time you saw it?
or going into it. Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah.
So I actually don't remember the year this came out, but 98, sorry. So at this point, we had already seen a lot of the Burton-style Batman movies and dark movies, and they had this gothic appeal to them, and this movie took it to another level. So for me, this was an easy one to embrace and pull into everything, and more than anything, I love that it makes you think. You think outside of the box. You think about imagination. You think about creativity. You think of the possibility of alien life and how it all interacts. I know it's science fiction, but I thought it was done very well.
So I watched this, and I went to the theater. Did you go to the theater and watch this?
Did.
So
I did.
yeah, I watched this in the theater, and I can't remember who I watched it with. I want to say that it was me, and I don't even like talking about the guy, but at the time, I think it might have been my old drummer from 3/4 Dead. I believe it was him and I that actually went and watched this, but could be wrong. But I remember watching it was some of my friends back home in North Carolina when it came out. And yeah, this is a movie. Even like I saw some of the trailers back then, but we're talking 98. I mean, I was 19 years old. I was out partying and having late teenager type things at the time in the 90s, partying, trying to find girls and out just having fun. So there was a couple of years there that I probably didn't watch as many movies as I did prior to then and after then, but every now and then I would find my way into the movie theater, and if I happened to see a trailer that caught my eye, and I just happened to catch a trailer for this, it was like, this looks really cool. It looks very 89 Batman noir style, but science fiction. Like, it felt like, I remember seeing the trailers and thinking 89 Batman meets Blade Runner is what I remember thinking at the time. And I think that still stands pretty true today by the kind of the vibe of this film. And I remember going to the theater, and I really fucking loved this film when I watched it the first time. I have some quirks, now with it, but it's still this is a cult classic. This is one of those that it's still just a great film, and it's actually this film holds up pretty well. Overall, some CGI issues, but it holds up pretty well outside of that.
The CGI was rough, but it was also 98, so yeah. That's.
I think if you're a Blade Runner fan and you like the noir style, then you're gonna fucking love Dark City if you've never seen it.
For sure. So right off the rip, we've got a unique scenario. The antagonists in this are an alien species that are dying, essentially, and they're called the Strangers. And the Strangers are kind of like the architects or engineers of this city or state, however you want to have it. And
I've got a plot summary here.
I was just giving one, but sure, go ahead.
Well, it's a quick one. So
Go ahead.
John Murdoch awakens alone in a strange hotel to find out that he has lost his memory. Are you reading the same one I am?
Go ahead, you're good.
Oh, he's lost his memory and is wanted for a series of brutal and bizarre murders. While trying to piece together his past, he stumbles upon a fiendish underworld controlled by a group of beings known as the Strangers, who possess the ability to put people to sleep and alter the city and its inhabitants. Now Murdoch must find a way to stop them before they take control of his mind and destroy him.
So the Strangers in this, like the fact that they have this ability, they use a character, I forgot what he's referred to as. We'll just give his name, Dr. Daniel Schreiber, who's played by Kiefer Sutherland. And Kiefer in this one, it's interesting because he doesn't do the best acting with this. He's very Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Well, the thing with Kiefer, he never does the best acting in anything, but I always like Kiefer.
I do too. He's got an appeal about him for sure, but in this one, he's very breathed like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's just that's the way how he goes throughout it. But what he tries to do is he is their scientist behind building different memories and different. He's the one who puts all these pieces together. These Strangers reset and restructure everything down to the people. So the people's memories are not their own. They're inserted with memories, and they become someone else almost daily, it seems like, in this world. And at the Strangers' call, at their whim, they can make buildings appear up, come down, build, elongate rooms. This is a power that they have called tuning. Mm-hmm. And this whole process has gone on forever because humanity is an experiment to them because they're dying off. And so with that experiment in play, they're just waiting to see how they can become more humanistic so they can continue and survive, hopefully, or find a common ground. Well, John Murdoch, played by Rufus Soule, he wakes up, but he wakes up panicked. He doesn't have any memories. And Dr. Daniel Schreiber, Kiefer, essentially he tried to put memories in him. Murdoch woke up during this process. This is what Schreiber was claiming to these Strangers. But essentially, Schreiber has given him a clean slate. He's wiped him clean for a reason. He was supposed to be injected with serial killer memories, and he was supposed to become this brutal person. So the setup that he even wakes up to without his memories is a murdered woman in a room with him. He has no idea why, only knows that there's a blood knife, and he's there next to the body. And it kind of spirals from there. John Murdoch's trying to figure out everything, and as he sees things, every night there's almost like an alarm clock that goes off, and this alarm clock hits. Everything shuts down. The people all fall asleep. Everyone's still. Nothing's moving. It's what it is, and that's when the reset happens. Well, John Murdoch, no longer susceptible to this, he doesn't go to sleep, and he sees what's happening. He sees how they're resetting everything. And this unbelievable story starts unfolding from there with his obsession of a place called Shell Beach.
Mm-hmm. So these beings, I love their design. They're very like a noir Cinnabot style design almost.
I got a different vibe. I got kind of like a Nosferatu species.
I
Almost.
could see that.
Not vampires, but the way they look. Like they even have the elongated kind of bony fingers. They have the thin thing. So apparently these creatures inhabit humans because they're all up here. They inhabit humans once they have died. So that's how that whole thing goes. But.
And did you notice one of the main ones that's trying to hunt him down was played by Bruce Spence?
Yes, I did notice that.
Who, I love. You hear me talk about this series a lot, but he was in the original, not the original, but he was in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Mad Max The Road Warrior. And
then also Ian Richardson played Mr. Book. There was another familiar face in there
or Richard O'Brien, who was in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, there's another one too, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
Jennifer Connelly.
Well, she's just stellar. I just love her, whatever she's in.
And William Hurt.
Yeah, that's William Hurt was one of them too, for sure. No, I can't. I'm having a brain fart. I don't know.
There's a lot of people you'll recognize, especially even actors and actresses that are still acting today. This film kind of has it. Trivia fact: you heard me at the beginning of this episode talk about how this film always, or The Matrix, always kind of reminded me a little bit of this film. Different, but a little bit. Trivia fact though: some of the set designs were actually, after filming, was sold to the directors. I can't remember, the
Wachowski brothers,
sisters now, for sets for The Matrix. So some of the sets in The Matrix were used sets from Dark City.
Well, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. That definitely tracks fully, because it has that same kind of vibe in many ways, and I think it goes back to that noir gothic vibe that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Matrix elements included here. So in the Matrix, you have a character who's awakening, who's not conforming to the programs, similar to John Murdoch here. And John Murdoch is now no longer able to be reset. And more importantly, he finds out that he has now evolved, and he has the power to tune as well. I hope I'm saying, is it tune or tune?
I always thought it was tune, but
is it tuning? Oh,
I thought it was tuning.
I don't know why I kept hearing a CH, like a tuning.
Oh, I always heard it as tuning. Like I'm going to tune a guitar.
I mean, tuning makes sense, but I was wondering if they're trying to add some like fun, crazy power to it. So,
by the end of this, I mean, if you've seen the original Matrix, the storyline, I swear, is very close to this. Because, like you said, you got John Murdoch who awakens from basically being controlled by these aliens. So instead of robots, you have aliens, and then you find out that he has gained powers, through all this, the tuning. And by the end of the film, this guy's doing full on like Kamehamehas and stuff, like
Neo.
Yeah.
Or even if you were to throw a Dragon Ball Z reference in there, even, Goku ending up. Yeah, dude, I was here for that whole ending. I'm a sucker for that kind of ending. And when you have the ultimate like boss battle, it climaxes to that, and it's almost for survival. It's not even about who can win. It's literally for survival. I fucking love that. Like everyone made fun of me because I'm normally a Star Wars guy, but like I loved the last installment of the Harry Potter movies.
They were great. I love Harry Potter.
Voldemort and Harry Potter. Well, when you're a Star Wars nerd primarily, and you like Harry Potter, you get that crap. By the way,
I love Harry Potter.
I'm equal opportunity. If a fucking series is good, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this: Harry Potter's great. And the last installment, when you have Voldemort and you have Harry Potter going at it with their wands and their magic streams are going at each other, and they're fucking it's like a lightsaber battle. So I got the same arm hair stand on my arm as when the Emperor and Vader are in the throne room with Luke. Like it's just as good. And while this isn't that tier, it's fucking up there because it has that vibe to it when they're going at it, and they're just like the city's crumbling around them. They're fighting through everything. They're making everything move, blasting each other back and forth. It's just so good.
Yeah. And one thing this movie's really, 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 really fucking dark. And like you said, once he awakens and he kind of goes on the run. We're not kinda. He goes on the run. Because he's not falling asleep. He's seeing everything unfold, like we were saying in your synopsis. You're seeing buildings move. You're seeing these aliens coming out or these beings coming out and changing things with the people. And it's wild because one day a family may be poor, well, the next day they may be rich, and their whole memories are changed. Somebody who's homeless may be own a shop or something, or jobs change and their memories change. They go in and actually change their memories and change. They'll use their tuning to reshape their homes, and from, like I said, poor to rich, and it's a really fun element. I love, and it's really dark when you really think about it. I mean, that you're changing the way people think and their lives day to day as an experiment, and they don't know any better. And
like one of the perfect examples in the movie is they have a couple who are really, really poor, and they're sitting at a table and they have barely anything in front of them that's a meal, and it's probably as big of a table as JP and I are across from each other. And they're complaining, they're almost fighting, they're not happy. It's a very rundown life. And when the reset happens, they literally, because everything can be physically molded to their will, so the table elongates. All of a sudden, these fancy draperies come around, and overnight they become these from poor arguing people that are unhappy to rich snobby people who are complaining about society and all its hindrances. And it was very real. At the same token, it was very eye opening to see how quick they could flip somebody that way.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what one of the things I remember when I originally watched this. It really fucked with me. It kind of disturbed me. It was like, this is wild. That
I did not know the director of this until today. Until just now looking at this. Also made iRobot, Knowing, and The Crow. Fucking The Crow, OG. Like that. I love this dude.
Alex Proyas, or how do you say his name? Yeah, I looked at his IMDb, and there was some wild ones that this guy did. Like he did Gods of Egypt, which I actually like. Gods of Egypt.
I didn't mind it. I like anything that throws back the mythology.
He did Knowing, which I thought Knowing was a pretty fun movie. It was a Nicolas Cage movie. iRobot, like you said. The Crow. I thought there was something else in here. Maybe not. He did a lot of music videos in the 80s.
Like Rick Springfield?
Yeah. So, but this guy's still working. I mean, he's done
Fleetwood Mac, In Excess.
Yeah, so I mean, he's still active. He's still active as a director. But
well, can you be active in a dark city too?
I don't think that's going to happen.
I know, but this movie is definitively to me a cult classic.
I didn't realize this until now, but David Goyer was one of the writers for this film.
Really?
So I'd never noticed this. And David Goyer.
Viewers, if you're watching this, that was my sarcastic, like, who the fuck is he talking about?
I called it. David Goyer has written for a lot of huge films, like The Dark Knight. He was one of the writers with Christopher Nolan with that. Let's go back to some of his. He did Death Warrant. He did Kickboxer
he wrote on
2,
The Sandman.
Arcade.
The New Hellraiser.
The Puppet Masters. The Crow. City of Angels.
Terminator Dark Fate. The Krypton series.
Mm-hmm. Blade. Freaky Links, which was one of my favorite TV series of the early 2000s.
Did the screenplay for Man of Steel.
He did Blade 2.
This guy's everywhere.
Blade Trinity, and he actually directed Blade Trinity. He wrote the screenplay for Batman Begins. I mean, this guy has done a fucking lot of writing. He's done some directing. He even wrote the screenplay for Man of Steel. I mean, this.
Oh yeah, and I mean it goes on and on.
Yeah.
Jumper, I love Jumper.
Yeah.
That was a great flick.
Yeah, David Goyer. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff that I've always dug.
He did the Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. movie.
And I have loved that
Oh
one
my
too.
god, and this is why he loves him.
Yeah.
Right there. I'll tell you that alone.
Well, he did Arcade as well.
And he did City of Angels.
Yeah.
And the Puppet Masters.
Yeah.
The Substitute. Jesus Christ, that's an old one. Demonic Toys. Kickboxer 2. This guy's all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, when he goes into knowing the names and shit, I don't know them all necessarily, but once I see what the material is, I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah. It's some of those movies you're like, okay, I get why JP knows who this guy is. The movie Arcade alone, if you've never seen Arcade, that movie is so good. It's a bonkers science fiction film that was done by, I believe it was done by Full Moon. And it has, what's his name? Seth Green plays in it. A young Seth Green.
He's in another movie we're reviewing
crazy
coming up.
So, alrighty, back to Dark City.
So the serial killer element was really, really a fun twist to me. I like this specifically because I think it's Mr. Quick? It's one of the strangers volunteers to have Dr. Schreiber essentially load Murdoch's memories into him. So Schreiber is trying to be as devoted to them as possible while helping Murdoch the entirety of this movie. So he injects the memories into Murdoch that are the serial killer memories. So now this stranger and he's the first stranger who's ever done it because their kind dies from having these memories put into them. And the way that it progresses and this guy turns super dark and twisty and becomes more human and from a serial killer sociopath kind of way, excellent. So well done. And so I was here for it. And I mean, I just can't say enough good things about this movie. It's a great movie.
And it is. And it's like I said, again, it's a cult classic. I will say I don't like this film as much as I did when I originally watched it.
I liked it even more.
See, and I'm the opposite on that. This film for me, I'm not taking away. You know, this film story wise it's a great film. It's a dark film. If you like the noir style films, and you like I said again, like Blade Runner, you like films like this, then you're going to love this film. But some of the CGI really took me out. But then the practical effects are so good in this film. So it's a back and forth battle with me with this film. But at the same time, I feel like some of this film does get a little too heavy and bogged down. And it bogs down a little bit for me.
Okay.
I mean,
elaborate.
It's just
motherfucker.
It's just so much back and forth. I think with. And I get it. They're telling the story, you know, with day by day people taking him trying to figure out everything with who these strangers are. Shell Beach, going to talk to his. It's not his father, is it? Is it uncle?
Uncle.
Yeah, it's uncle. To find out. Where's Shell Beach at? Well, I've never actually been there, but we have been there. We have memories of being there. Well, how do you get there? No, it takes a lot of steps to get there. I think that's where I feel like it gets a little bogged down.
So I liked it though because it made there be a commonality amongst all the people for them to wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the more people he seemed to wake up to what he was seeing, experiencing, making them believe his path, the more the movie could define itself, and he had more of kind of a team, if you will. So,
I get it. I mean, and it does pull the story together, and I'm not saying like a ton of this needs to be cut. I don't know, and I can't even think of a scene that I could sit here and say, well, this could be cut, this could be cut, I can't even think of a scene that could really be cut. It's just, I feel like at the same time, it takes a minute to get there. And it feels a little boggy to me.
See, I only disagree because the movie still, at the end of the day, it's not a super long movie. So I was okay with the story gaps, like the character Walensky. He is somebody who woke up during the reset and stayed awake, and he kind of was mad and crazy at this point. But when he comes into contact with Murdoch, he kind of gives validity to everything he's seen, all he's done, and makes him feel like he's not crazy. And he's like, how do you know all this? What's going on? And he starts telling him, I didn't wake up. And he's like, he goes, but I have a way that I can get out. And he pretty much unalives himself and jumps in front of a subway train. So he had his own agenda, but at the same time, he wanted very much so to get information to Murdoch. And the Murdoch stuff, like, I feel like it was all part of him finding out who he was until we get to that Kiefer Sutherland part where he puts those memories in him and he awakens as Neo. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he took would you take the red pill or you take the blue pill?
Yeah.
Shell City. Do we want to get there yet?
I mean, we can. Like, you mean towards the end, or do you mean the journey there?
Well, we can talk a little bit about the journey there.
Yeah, because the journey there so Shell City starts out as he's going through a box of things that are what he believes are his, and he finds
a picture,
a postcard.
Yeah, or he finds a postcard. But when he's with his uncle, he finds a picture of him as a kid at Shell Beach. And he ends up seeing a picture of his arm where his arm is all burned up because his parents die in a house fire, and he gets burned up, and his arm gets burned up in this house fire. And he literally looks at his uncle and goes, how is this me? I don't have any scars, So he's awakening other people, kind of like you were saying a minute ago. But they have memories of being there, but nobody knows how to get there.
Yeah, no one. The first person that he finds is the taxi driver. The taxi driver, he's like, "Hey, how do I get to Shell Beach?" And he's like, "You just go up to Main Street and you turn right, and then it's been a long time. I don't know. I don't think I can get there. I don't know." And he drops him off in what he feels is the vicinity.
Yeah.
And he keeps asking other people this, including one of the other actors who's a well-known actor, and I don't know why I'm having a brain fart, but he plays basically a detective investigating the murders that are happening, and he's convinced that Murdoch is the key to it all. So when Murdoch finally gets caught by this detective, they're sitting down in a room, and that was and you're sitting down in a room, and the detective is asked the question, "Hey, Shell Beach, you know that, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "How do you get there?" And all of a sudden the detective's like, "Well, you just go, I don't know." And he starts asking about other memories and things from the beginning of his life and how it doesn't add up, and the pieces start falling together. So now you got the detective, you got Jennifer Connelly, you got the uncle who's not much help, and they're kind of all waking up. And Schreiber is the backstory to all that as well.
And Jennifer Connelly, I love Jennifer Connelly. I think she's done some great roles. I think she's, I don't know. The thing with her, she's done great roles, but she's very unmemorable in some of her roles.
I will completely disagree because of Requiem for a Dream. That movie still messes with me.
See, I'm not a fan of that movie at all. Like, I do not like that film.
Why, though? And we'll get back on Dark City in a minute, but
I think it's just the drug use and everything. It just annoys me, and
So I don't see a need to ever watch it again, but I still hold it to a really high regard as far as cinematography is concerned. I did not expect it to go from, like, any movie that goes from shit to utter horrible shit is a rough watch. I think Doom Generation was another one that was like that for me. Kids even far behind that, same director with those two. But it's a hard thing to process and digest. So the drug use, that was a lot. That was a huge bit of fuckery. But, like, her character and the things she goes through in that movie are so memorable. And of course, Labyrinth, that's a starting point. But the rest of her roles, you're right.
It's pretty unmemorable. I mean,
she's unforgettable.
She's unforgettable. But she's forgettable. Her films are her parts and her roles in a lot of films are pretty forgettable. Other than, like you said, Labyrinth, Requiem for a Dream. I think of Rocketeer, but how many people think of fucking Rocketeer?
There's only a handful who even, like, really remember the Rocketeer movie.
Yeah.
So it's weird. You know what? This is a key indication that we're getting old, JP. But the amount of people that I've asked recently that are younger generation of certain movies, they said, like, let's give for example. I asked somebody, I'm like, "Do you know The Never Ending Story?" And they said no. and I about fell over because I feel like that's a core movie for kids to see when you're growing up. And the amount of kids that told me they had, we're talking like early 20s, not just little kids, that said they hadn't seen that was really, really eye-opening.
It doesn't surprise me. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't swear to you that I let my son ever watch Never-Ending Story. Now, he may have watched it, but it's not one that I can ever remember putting on and saying, hey, you have to watch this. So there's probably people like me that messed up on that, because I loved the Never-Ending Story, and I loved the sequel with Jonathan Brandis.
But you didn't watch part 3?
I watched some made for straight-to-video Never-Ending Story. I don't know what it was.
I think that was it. So yeah, she was in Noah. I forgot about the stuff she's been in.
Well, she was in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, really?
No, I watched. Of course, old school Top Gun I've watched. I haven't watched Maverick.
Maverick's good.
I've heard nothing but good things. Yeah. I also heard that they did the Val Kilmer part very well.
Oh yeah. The Kilmer part's good.
Alita, Battle Angel. No,
I forgot she was in Alita, but she's forgettable because everything else is so badass in that film.
Animation. She was in the movie 9, which is that's an underrated gem. I like 9. Day of the Earth Stood Still, Dark Water, Hulk. Yeah, she's been in a bunch of stuff that was not memorable moments. I agree, because I know all these movies very well. I just don't remember her.
You forget that she's in.
That's a fair point.
You forgot she was in Hulk. You forgot that she's in
A Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind.
That was an excellent movie, and I can't believe I forgot that.
And I love The Day the Earth Stood Still, but I only think of Keanu Reeves in that film.
Yep. Yeah, so this movie, though, if you are one of those people who believes in the Matrix whole theory of everything is a construct, a false world, this will make you think. It'll definitely get the gears grinding, and if nothing else, it expands the imagination for sure. Because there's those people who think they're always being abducted by aliens too, and those things happen. And so I don't know. This movie just had so much for me to think about in one setting. Like, I'm thinking about The Strangers, I'm thinking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I'm thinking about the reset every night and having memories put into you, and the buildings changing and powers. I mean, there's so much going on in this movie, but it's done so well.
And getting closer to the ending, one of my favorite things about this movie, and it's one of the few things that I think this film did way better than some of its predecessors and some of the films that came after it, was the big reveal with Shell Beach.
Yes, he made it what he wanted to.
And when they reveal, they're hammering the wall. They see the poster and they're hammering the wall to find out what's on the other side of the wall where Shell Beach supposedly is. And that's when you find out that they're not on Earth.
No.
They're actually on a flat Earth, or a flat city just drifting out in space. And
because these strangers can control the reset and the memories, these people have just been as long as they can remember in space, procreating, making new lives, and being reset. And Schreiber has been one of the architects of that, but there's ones before him he talked about, and there's he said even he doesn't know how long they've been there. Mm-hmm. So it almost seemed like there was another movie, which I'm drawing a blank for, where a chunk of the Earth was taken, and it was taken to space, and it was this floating controlled block of space. But the people knew where they were in that instance.
And that's essentially what this looks like.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. It looks like they took the chunk up. What I want to know, the only part that was weird for me, and granted, he can create matter out of thin air because of his powers, where'd all the fucking water come from?
I know.
Instantly, I'm like, you can't just create it out of nowhere. Like, got to have some kind of... But
so yeah, and by this point, he actually goes to where the stranger's little headquarters is, and that's when he really shows off his powers and actually battles these people. And
that's the scene I was talking about.
Yeah, and he takes control of this floating city in space with the help of the Doctor, who was supposed to erase his mind again. And he shows his Neo powers or Kamehamehas and takes control, fights all the strangers off, and then he recreates the city. He brings sunlight. He creates water out in space and gives a beach to have Shell Beach all around this city, which kind of, like you said, it's like, how does he do all this? Atmosphere out in space.
I guess there's ice particles in space.
Maybe.
Blah, blah, blah. Anyway,
yeah.
No. But and the bigger one isn't even the water one for me. It's he makes a full ass beach, and when he does that, he creates a sun. So harness the power of a sun. There's something going on here. It keeps that imagination going. It keeps you thinking about how these things could be and the extent of the power of the tuning.
Yeah.
I called it the tuning earlier. I'm sorry, it is the tuning. But man, he owns it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. No, he rebuilds the city to what it should be, and gives everybody freedom, and live their lives.
But that leaves another question for me in my head, because these are the over analytical moments, and that question being like, why didn't you just like rearrange the dude's molecules or have him blow up, or do something like that if you've got all these powers? So I don't know, but that wouldn't have been a great story. What we got was a great story, so I'm happy they did it the way they did.
Did you look at box office for this?
I did not, but I have a feeling it's why you're laughing when I said I wanted a sequel.
Yeah. I do have it up.
It broke even.
Yeah, but breaking even.
No, it doesn't stand up. But
isn't going to green light a sequel, and if it does, it's going to green light a very low budget sequel.
This is one of those ones where if you had the same director in the mix, I would actually be okay with a remake. And I don't ever say that because I fucking am over remakes. But this one, if it got a modern day approach and a modern day story, like not modern day, you could even keep the same story, but they could do a lot with this and build upon it and have more come out. So, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, and I don't even say it has to be a remake. If you just had this original film and had it the special effects just redone.
I was like, okay, are there more strangers out there? Are there more experiments happening too? Like, there's
That's
whole
fair.
bunches of ways you can explore it. So who knows?
But I'm just saying, you could actually do a remaster of this film and fix some of the special effects.
Yeah,
for sure. This would, and I feel the same way about Peter Jackson's The Frighteners.
Yeah.
That film, and I don't use this as a comparison. I think The Frighteners is a perfect film.
Oh, wow.
I think it's one of the most perfect films ever made. Well, maybe not ever made, but for me, it's a perfect film.
Where they stole from Freddy Krueger, but whatever.
No. But I think the film is so fun, but the CGI is so dated that it takes you out of it now. Like, wouldn't change a thing about The Frighteners. Wouldn't change one fucking thing. But if Peter Jackson would go back and just redo the special effects, make them look good, make them clean them up, and make it work and look a little more realistic, man, that film would be so good. And it still is great.
But is it necessary? That's my question, because like I feel like I love Hellraiser, and it's no secret. And Hellraiser 1, at the end of Hellraiser 1. That's some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life. Is that CGI? I think that was CGI. Or was it claymation? I don't even remember at this point.
They did some weird shit.
So that was like the beginning realm of the CGI to me. So when I go back and I look at those things, I am very, very put off initially. But then I have to remember, like, that's okay. This is progress. We've seen the progression of where it's at. But I almost feel like same thing I feel with music right now. Like we've reached a point now where the CGI is oversaturated, and so is the computer-made music. There's just a lot going on there. Where I think it needs to come back to the grassroots at some point, where you show cinema being made in its entirety, music being made in its entirety as it is.
I get that. I don't know. I think it would be fun to see what some of this stuff could look like. And I'm not even saying a lot. I'm not even saying, and some of this is not even a lot. I mean, it's just certain CGI shots,
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and to that point, that's like us Star Wars nerds having those original cuts with the original intent, and then seeing the new stuff. So it's kind of, you either like it and see what it can do, or you kind of hold on to those old ones.
And I say this, and I'm also one of these guys that hates what George Lucas did to the original Star Wars with updating CGI and whatnot. But I think that's a little different for me, because a lot of the stuff that I loved about those early Star Wars, it was practical effects that I loved. It wasn't fixing messed up CGI. It was adding CGI to stuff that looked great in practical effects.
Ratings.
Let's
get into ratings. I chose this one, so you can go first.
Yeah. So I generally like this film. I enjoyed it more in the theater in 1998 when I watched it than I did in 2005 on a rewatch, or 2010 on a rewatch, or yesterday when I rewatched it. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I rewatched this movie this past year too, and then I watched it yesterday, and I really enjoyed it 6 months ago. Because it had been a while since I bet it had been 10 years since I'd watched it. So 6 months ago when I watched this film, I was like, man, this movie's really fucking good. Then I rewatched it yesterday, and it's a more of a recent watch since my rewatch. And I'm like, I really enjoy this film, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did 6 months ago, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I did 20 plus almost 30 years ago, 25 years ago, whenever it was it came out. But it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it. My issues are really just some of the CGI, and again, unmemorable performances by Jennifer Connelly, but that seems to be her trend. But again, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I said it throughout the episode, if you like The Matrix, if you like Blade Runner, if you like 89 Batman style noir, you're going to eat this movie up if you've never seen it. This movie is going to be for you. Now, my rating for this is, I'm going to put this one probably a little lower. I'm probably going to be a bit lower than where he's going to put this one at. Now, I'm not going to rate it as low as I did Fantastic Four last week. But I am going to sit this one I'm sitting at about a 3.4 nerds on this one. Yeah, I'm not review bombing this one.
We're far off on it,
but I figure we're probably going to be far off, because I feel like you really love this movie to where I would rather sit down and watch Blade Runner.
I mean, Blade Runner is gonna win all the time over Dark City, but this is still a standard. Like, this is a great film for me. It helped me a couple times over when I watch it. It helped me kind of like get into that imagination mindset, think outside of the box, and just have fun with a movie and let it be what it was. For me, start to finish, it is a solid hour and 40 minutes of fun, finding out who a person is that has no memory of who he was, trying to piece it all together and build friendships along the way, finding out the antagonist, the sci-fi element, all the things come together for almost a perfect movie for me. This one didn't. It's not a full 5 here, but we're going a 4.6 nerds from me on this one. I really, really think highly of this movie. I would love to see, whether it be an animation even, or director's cut or something. I think there is a director's cut, actually. Rather it be some kind of an improvement on the original. I'd be down for whatever I get out of this. If there's lore in books, if there's any more books or anything along those lines, I would love to read more into this world, because it's definitely got my interest. So yeah, 4.6 nerds.
I knew you was going to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
You have any recommendations?
You know what? You did it last week. I'm going to do it this week. I'm going Happy Gilmore 2. I had my own thoughts on Happy Gilmore 2. It's one of those just good feel, amazing movies. It's got something for the younger kids. It's got something for the old school fans. It's just a solid, fun movie. So I'll do that.
I've not been watching a lot lately. I've been so busy. You guys know I've had a lot of things going on the past month and between tour and things like that. So I'm a bit behind on a lot of stuff, and I've not watched a lot of stuff. I will say, and looking at my recent purchases just now is what I was doing. This just hit digital, like here in the past few weeks, or probably a month or two now, whenever this episode comes out. And I just did a rewatch on it. God damn, I love this movie. The Burbs.
Oh, yeah.
It finally hit digital. And you would think a movie like The Burbs with Tom Hanks would have been on digital a long time ago. But this movie just hit digital, like, for purchase.
This isn't just Tom Hanks. This is Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, you got Tom Hanks. You got Carrie Fisher. You got Corey Feldman.
Yep.
Like, there's so many recognizable faces in The Burbs. And that movie... That was one of those movies that came out in the early 90s when it came out.
Who plays his neighbor, the annoying neighbor?
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but he was a comedian from back in that time. But if you liked those type of films that had a darkness to it, but there were comedies that had that kind of darkness to it, then, God, if you've never seen this movie, it's just one that you've got to see. The cast is great, the story's great, and it's about crazy, obsessed neighbors obsessing over what's going on with each other in this cul-de-sac. But it gets way out there. You got the kid from that played Malachi in Children of the Corn. He's one of the characters in it.
Henry Gibson.
Yep.
Right? Wasn't that him? He's old in this picture, but I think that's him.
No. That was the at the house, old house. He was the father of Malachi. He was Malachi's father.
Well, regardless, it's okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people you'll recognize in the film if you've never seen it. But yeah, The Burbs. It just hit digital a while back, and I bought it. It wasn't on sale, but they put it out for like $15 on digital. So it was one of those I picked up a while back and just rewatched it. So yeah, there's that one.
All right, good shit. All right, well,
just to reiterate, CineNerdsPodcast.com. Please share this video. Write a comment. Go back to our regular comment section. Write a comment and click like on the videos. Share it. Listen on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Be sure to share this with your friends.
And remember, kids, sharing is caring.
Till next week.
Peace out.
Later.